man. It's a pleasure to be here today, man. The man to my left, HB Plant graduate, Tampa Legend, Mr. HB Plant. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Located at 2415 South Hines.
From the Weaker, the Wild Wild West. Consists of consists All-American at the University of Southern Cal. Pac-10 Freshman of the Year. First round draft in the NFL. Welcome to the show, big guy.
Yes, sir.
Pleasure to have you here.
Welcome, big fella.
Pleasure to have you here, baby. Good to see you.
Big fella.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Dagarette,
Yes.
curiosity. Give me something to get the big guy to give us about his experience in life, playing a sport at a very high level, being a very good football player during this time. What's curious on the mind?
Hey man, look here. Before you go with all that, I gotta throw my little 2 cents in. They be trying to cut the old man out.
I tell him we gotta let the OG be the OG.
Go ahead, coach.
Look here. I remember seeing this kid in high school. I was the old man in the back of the stand sitting up on there. I said, that's the biggest damn receiver I ever seen.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
He was big too.
He was big. Then I watched him go out to USC. The highlights running. He's still big, but he hauling ass. Ain't nobody catching him. He doing his thing. I said, I ain't seen nothing like that right there.
He rep for the crib.
What? That's something
He
special
definitely
right
rep
there.
for the
Now.
crib.
But go ahead.
So I'm old enough to remember when USC wasn't as relevant on the national level as they are now.
Yeah.
Like Coach Jones a little bit older than us, so he might remember some of the Marcus Allen teams and all that.
Damn.
Yeah, you got a couple mango seasons.
Dinosaur.
Coach, so but like just being like growing up in the '90s, especially being from this region, I never rushed home and was like, "Oh, USC played in there." Like,
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I always wondered, and I never asked Mike what made him choose USC. I mean, I heard the Florida Gator story. I heard, we talked about that off camera.
Yeah.
He could tell that if he want to, but what made you choose USC? Because like a lot of people don't give Mike the credit. Like that's when they start back popping.
Yeah.
Like,
Without a doubt.
I remember growing up, there was 8-9 win teams, and out there the big thing is the Rose Bowl.
I didn't pay attention to them till I knew we had homegrown there. So then I started watching them. You see what I'm saying? Because they come on at a different time. You know that. So I started watching them when he went there.
So what made you choose USC? And take us through your recruiting process.
A lot of people don't know. Derek Brooks, Buccaneer, great. The whole bit, ring honor, the whole bit. Derek Brooks helped me out a lot.
Didn't know that.
Coming
Okay.
out. When I was in high school, he would just kind of show up to the games and he would catch me. Corey Ivy would come
I know
sometimes. And he would just tell me little things. Hey, when you do this, hey, make sure you don't. He would always tell me not to show my emotion. Like when you're mad, don't show you mad. People always watch you. But one of the things he told me was, he was like, hey, when you pick a college, think about somewhere you want to live, after college is over.
Oh, okay. There you
Because,
go.
that's where you're gonna be most popular. And when I went on my trips, I went to Purdue. That's in West Lafayette, Indiana.
Right.
Yeah, no.
I'm not.
Ain't nothing.
Nothing.
I'm not. I'm hanging out there after. I'm
No
done.
disrespect to Indiana.
Disrespect. You know what I'm saying? To Gainesville.
Right.
To an extent, is not a place that you normally go put your roots. But going to LA, that was a place where I was like, oh yeah, I could be here for a while. And I turned up. I just moved back to Florida last year.
That's crazy.
So I was out there almost 20 years. So
Nice.
and then the personnel. I always want the quarterbacks.
Right.
So when you think about all schools, Drew Brees had just left. Their quarterback, another pro, was Kyle Orton.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it wasn't like it was but Carson Palmer was like,
Who's that dude?
he who I looked at as he could get it done.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then so I was right in that regard because he won the Heisman my freshman year. So
With the help of you. I mean, that ain't hurt that he was throwing that thing to you.
I snatched 14 of them for him. So.
Yeah. Very, very decorated freshman. Pac-10 freshman of the year. You definitely with the assistance of a great quarterback in Carson Palmer. I'm gonna go a little more to your roots, man. I'm gonna go to your roots. We from the same hood. You know what I mean? Had a couple battles on the court. Seeing you as a youngin.
No, I'm going to say jit. We in Tampa.
Seeing you as a jit. You know what I mean? Seeing you as a jit.
Yeah.
But I've always been curious about this because I know how I see the dynamics of, with what we had to endure as kids growing up. Talk a little bit about your childhood and how that shaped you to be who you are today.
I'm allowed to cuss on you?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to.
Just talk. Bro.
So we grew up in the foster home in Sonoma, Sassy.
Out there in the woods. That's where I'm from.
That's where he from.
Yeah. My first school picture is from Sonoma, Sassy Elementary.
I know exactly where it's at.
And then my great aunt adopts us. Like that's how I ended up in West Tampa. And just growing up wise, I felt like she always gave me a shot at a good life. So I never wanted to, disappoint her in that sense. So,
yes, sir.
That always kind of guided me to be kind of who I was.
And that's something I didn't know. You know what I mean? I didn't know the dynamics, of that. I just know it. And we, that's something that was a lot of unspoken notions as a kid. It wasn't, who was behind the scenes in the house. It was like, we come out to the park, we hooping, we doing this, all the other stuff really didn't matter.
And it was just, you talk about Ray Park, that was like a safe place for me if I wasn't outside the house on my little crate hoop.
Yeah, your little crate hoop out in front. Yes, sir, at the gate. Yes, sir.
Ray Park, R-E-Y?
R-E-Y.
Yeah, R-E-Y. R-E-Y.
Trying to make sure y'all really from exit 42.
Wow, exit 42. Get it right.
Them boys know the Maxes, the addresses, boy, good.
Man, it's definitely what shaped you. You know what I'm saying, in the midst of that. And I was, definitely always, curious about that, man. So, that speaks volumes in regards to, being where we from and just having that pedigree of what, a lot of times when you're behind the scenes and you see certain things, it's like, okay, where does this toughness come from? Where does, all these different things. So
growing up, you kind of see what you don't want for yourself.
No doubt.
In a sense, whether it's through your buddies, whether it's through your family members, you know what you don't want for yourself. So I never thought I was going to go to the NFL. I just wanted to be a history teacher and a football coach. Okay. In high school.
When did you realize I can go to the NFL? I can make this work.
When I was a senior in high school.
Yeah.
The coach that was recruiting me to go to USC is Kirby Wilson. Kirby Wilson is the running back coach for Cleveland Browns now.
Okay.
But he was the wide receiver coach at USC. And during my recruitment, he left SC to go be the running back coach for the Bucks.
Right. Okay.
And I hadn't committed to SC yet or anything. And I would go over to the Bucks facility and meet with Kirby, and that's how I was, around the Bucks players like that. Yeah. They had just got Keyshawn. I hadn't met him yet, but that was around the time they had Chris Sims. So I was actually going to the Bucks, the old one. Well, it was like right
old Bucks place.
Yeah. Not the
airport.
Right.
Not a nice joint.
It was like 3 or 4 portables.
Yes, sir. They had rats.
Yeah, they was working.
Old Bucks place.
Yeah, they had the dumbbells outside.
Yeah,
on the back porch.
On the back porch.
Yeah.
The back patio.
Right.
So I would be out there and I would run routes and I was catching passes from Chris Sims. And when I was out there, I was like, Gruden, he didn't know I was there. And Gruden came out and he was like, we got to sign this dude. And they had to tell Gruden, like, yo, he's 18. He goes to high school down the street.
Right.
And so that's why I met Coach Gruden and the whole bit. So when the head coach confused you from being a tryout, but that didn't really set in until I actually had a good year at SC. After my freshman year, that's when I was kind of like, okay, like I got action.
So what's funny about that, I think it's kind of like a myth or urban legend. People made the USC connection with Keyshawn. Like you just said, Derrick Brooks politic that whole thing. I had no idea. And having meeting Key later on, I understand how much pride he got for like the school and the whole bit. I hadn't met him. Yeah. I hadn't met him. I hadn't talked to him until I was already in California, already at the school, and then he hooked up with some people. He contacted some people I knew and had me come to his restaurant. Okay. He had a grand opening for his restaurant. I'll never forget it because he was dating Serena Williams. Oh yeah. So it was like that's when he was like
the man.
He was like he was that dude. Like, he was that guy. I think most people just assume, especially in Tampa, that it was Keyshawn that politic did it. But yeah, I didn't even know that.
Nah, you understand? Like from West Tampa, like you don't know nothing about no SC people.
Right.
No. Yeah, I didn't care nothing about USC until my college process. Like, I didn't. I knew about Marcus Allen and these great dudes that had played there, but as far as like caring about him and all that, I didn't even know Keyshawn.
Johnson was, came from there until he got drafted.
He was a JUCO guy, right?
Yeah, he went to JUCO for about 2 years.
And then he only played the USC.
Yeah. That's why I was blown because I know he was raised in standout, and I was like, well, he gonna go to Florida State, Miami, or something. And then when he says USC, I was like, wow. I was like, what made him go way out west?
Yeah,
but I was still following because he was from the crib.
Right.
So,
Florida.
Oh yeah.
Florida was strong.
Yeah, that's where I graduated from. So I'm
no.
get into it.
You ain't no please don't. Mike, please don't start that Florida was strong with this guy up here.
Oh, Florida at the time, they got the Pouncies.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
right over from Lakeland.
They recruiting.
Right.
Heavy in Florida.
They're starting to get, the big max stars is there. Like they getting dudes that I actually, knew of beforehand.
Right.
Ian Scott had went there. He
Play offensive line.
D-line. Then went to the Steelers, but he was the center for Orion Green's state championship Gainesville team.
Yeah, OG.
Basketball player.
Yeah.
I don't know if you do that though.
That's who beat Joy them. Beat Brandon.
beat Brandon. Yeah.
The Brandon team.
Yeah.
So, good players was going to that school.
Yeah.
Zook he wasn't.
He wasn't there.
Yeah.
No, I feel you on that.
Zook, but he wasn't for me.
I feel you.
At the time.
No.
Well, he ain't last real long. He ain't last long.
I think you have to be very, very gracious in the midst of having, guys that was willing to, hand it back to you. You know what I mean? A lot of times we got to pay it forward. So when you hear D. Brooks talking to a young guy playing on a high school level and giving him insight, man, that speaks volumes for the type of man that he is. And Ivy and all those guys that have a.
I think he's been consistent with that throughout his career, his time at Tampa. That dude the truth, man.
Paying it forward. I immediately became a USC fan when you signed to go there.
Oh, yeah.
Tried to watch as many games as I could, in the midst of it. And I just remember just talking crazy as but the first 2 years, because I'm like,
there was some hater times in the city now.
Oh yes.
There was some hater times.
He
don't want that. He don't want that fire. He don't want to jump. He don't want to get out there. Really, oh man, he running way out there.
Yeah, my little brother.
What's out there? Yeah.
No, my little brother Justin. Justin was like, oh, Mike is gonna kill at USC. I was like, Justin, what are you even talking about?
Yeah.
He was like, watch. I don't know if y'all played maybe like a Thursday night game. I know you had like 5 drops.
It was Kansas State.
That's what he was.
I never forget that game.
No, Justin called me. Justin was like, Mike out there tripping. I'm going to call him and go off on him. He was like,
he called me.
He called you?
Yeah. He was like, watch the rest of the year. I promise you that's what Justin
said. So let me go on the record and say it was Justin's phone call that galvanized me to being who I was. He called me and cussed me out, and I said, you know what, Justin? I'm not gonna let you down.
It's on record. So what? Justin, where you at?
Got that love, Justin.
We gonna give him that credit.
But Justin called it. He said Mike will kill it at SC.
Yeah.
My very first college game was the first college game for Monday Night Crew. Like I said, Al Michaels and them called the game. We went against Auburn. They had Cadillac Williams, Ronnie Brown. We played them at SC. Cadillac had like 90 yards rushing in the first half. Pulled his hamstring like the first series, and the second half we beat him.
Yeah.
But that first game I went against Hood and Carlos Rogers, who would go on and be a top 10 pick. So went against him. I had a few catches. Then the next week we played at Colorado. They had Donald Strickland. Donald Strickland was another corner, and he went early. He went like top 2 rounds. Long corner. I had like 96 yards on him. And then the next week up, it was Kansas State, and they had Terrence Newman. And that's what that was the
Terrence
one.
Newman,
Cowboy.
That was the one.
Cowboy.
Yeah, that was the one where
sticky.
everybody was like, "Oh yeah, the other two, like they was alright, but this one, like this
Right.
one this week,
How big is he?
Like this, the one you got to get. T-New, he's not a big guy.
5'11",
maybe 5'11".
That's what I figured.
Real quick, but if you go back and you watch it, he has no PBUs.
It's a bunch of drops by you.
Yeah.
It's a bunch of drops because I'm out there I'm trying to get him. I done heard about him for like a week.
Thought about it too much.
I'm
trying
to get him. You know, it's already like some beef between Kansas State and SC from the year prior because Darren Sproles was fielding the punt and Trey Palomalu came and knocked him out the game the year before.
Oh, okay. So it's
that
hot.
was at SC. So then my freshman year, we played him at Kansas State.
No, this is random as hell. I don't think it was Darren Sproles. I think it was the Lockett kid that Palomalu hit because I just
it
saw
Lockett?
it. I
It was
literally
Lockett.
just saw it like 2
It was
days ago.
Lockett. It was Lockett.
I
It wasn't
swear to
Sproles.
God, I just saw it.
Darren Sproles on that team.
It was Lockett.
But it's Lockett. You're right. I'll stand corrected. Yeah.
Yep.
So he smoked him. I'm talking about.
That was bad.
Left my
Oh, it was bad. It was bad.
So the next year, my freshman year, we actually got to go to Kansas State. So when I'm there, I just pretty much inherit
The beef.
everything
Yeah.
that's going
Right.
on. But sure
Fresh
enough,
out of Tampa.
Sure enough,
He on his Tampa stuff out there.
Oh yeah, he's definitely on the Tampa vibe.
Oh, you kidding me? I'm K-Wayne. I'm all.
For those of you at home, he said he was K-Wang.
I like when you got a
If you
Tampa
from
guy
Tampa, you
representing.
know what K-Wang is. Yeah.
Yeah, man. That's one thing I will say. Like, I mean, even right now, 2021, like, Tom G. Like, I got dudes in LA right now playing 16 summers.
Yes,
Oh,
sir.
yeah.
You kidding
Yes,
me?
sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
God, you heard it. God, you heard it.
What are you talking about? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Don't get me started. But yeah,
Go ahead, Mike.
You know what I'm saying? I've always, only thing is, LA made me speak faster.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Now I talk faster because they talk faster.
Oh, yeah.
They thought you was a country boy out there with that drawl.
You spend like 6 months. Huh? What'd you say?
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't say cuz and all that.
Right. Yeah. The whole LA vibe. It's always this question. You being a bigger guy, knowing it was and at the time I think there wasn't too many guys your size being able to run routes with the feet that you had in the bounce.
Hell no.
And all that. But did
like
anybody?
not in college.
No, not in college. Did anybody
No.
make an attempt to change your position during the recruiting process?
Nah, not really. Except
Okay.
Florida.
Funky Gators.
The
Funky Gators.
I played strong safety in high school my senior year, and we blitzed a lot, so I had about 9-10 sacks.
Yeah.
So some schools was like, hey, you can play DN, the whole bit.
Wow.
But I had made it clear, like, I want to know that.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, I made it clear, like, all right.
Yeah, I
defense,
wanna-
Good.
Defense is not in my college future.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So if I've made that clear, and then I come to your school and you
It's going to be a
talk
problem.
about it, it's like,
Yeah.
why you wasting our
like
time?
that.
Why you wasting our time?
Our time. Mine and yours.
Yeah. Our time.
That's good though.
I want to look at you and then say this.
Yeah.
I wasted a trip. I could have took a trip to one of these
Did
places.
you leave early?
Yeah.
Did you tell me that story that you left early?
But you know what though?
He left early.
I left the University of Florida trip early.
He left
I
early.
left the same night I got there.
I say this.
told me that.
Look here. I say this. Once I realized, because I
boy.
I was trying to think back
Oh,
to
boy.
see who it was. Once he say Zook, oh shit, I was like, no,
And
you
I
ain't
took-
had no business there.
And I take it a step further. My high school quarterback that year, my senior year, is Stephen Reeves,
Michigan State.
who was the son of John Reeves, who was an All-American quarterback at Florida.
Yeah.
So when I tell you Florida
They
messed it up,
they did. They messed it up.
He
Yeah.
went to Michigan State.
yeah.
Yeah, he went to
They
Michigan State.
messed it up.
Mike,
They had everything.
having you here next to me, and knowing a little bit, because I don't know much about the 3 years removed from high school, done. Was it you when Clarette was one of the first guys to challenge that?
Yeah.
Shed some light on that. Shed some light on that process of what you were thinking in the midst of it, and I it's admirable to me to say, okay, you know what, I'm good enough to play in the NFL now
doubt,
after 2 years, but it's a rule in place that I want to challenge.
You saying that, and I remember that now.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Well, that was all correct. As
Okay.
far as like the courts and all that. That's why you never saw me in a courtroom. That's why you
Yeah,
never
you
saw
never
any pictures
did.
of me.
Okay.
You never saw me.
But they did tie you. They
never
did
saw
tie
me
you with it though.
anything that. So once
Okay.
they changed the rule, then that's when once he actually got it changed and all that, I just declared.
Right.
Like, I didn't fight no court.
Oh,
so
okay.
My name wasn't on no subpoena.
Oh no, on the documents.
Like,
Yes, sir.
I made it clear to them folks from jump. Like, I ain't coming to a courtroom. I ain't arguing nothing.
Right.
I'm only here because y'all changed the rule.
Right.
Trying to see what's happening.
What's happening? I'm trying. Look here, man. I did word the first two. I need to go get that check.
You know, I had Carson my freshman year. He won the Heisman, and then we had Matt the second year, who wouldn't even been the quarterback. So
Which Matt?
Matt
Castle.
Liner.
Oh,
Liner.
Castle was right there, but the dude we had was a dude named Brandon Hance, and his girlfriend gets hit by a car during fall camp.
So you saying Matt Liner would have been the guy if
He
he was?
checks out. Brandon just
Wow.
checks out football, checks out the team. He transferred from Purdue. I met him on my visit at Purdue.
Where was he from? He was a Cali
He's
kid?
from California. I met him at my visit on Purdue. He goes, "Hey, you the Florida dude, right?" And I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Man, come here, man." He's like, "You like the snow?" I was like, "Hell no, I ain't with the snow shit." He was like, "Yeah, So up here, they don't let you wear long sleeves outside when it's snowing because they tell you can't control the elements. So I was kind of like, ooh.
I know what I can't.
That's abuse.
So I was kind of like, he kind of hit me with, I wasn't probably going there anyway, but that was kind of one of them things I was kind of like, oh, okay. So they be out here trying to break dudes by having them out in the cold and the snow. So, which they gonna get out of Florida do.
Right.
And then sure enough, when I end up at SC, he's in my class because he transferred. That same
girl got hit by a car.
So he was better than Lionel.
Huh?
He was
gonna be our starter. Girl gets hit by a car. Liner's next up.
Did he ever?
No, he came back and so he still got rings and everything because he's still on the team.
Just
but
he
didn't play.
Yeah, but mentally, you just wasn't there.
Castle's next up.
Did y'all have a lot of Florida guys, or just like you or two or three people?
Me and like a couple guys. And,
you with Keith Rivers?
After. He's after me. I'm with Mike Ross from St. Pete Catholic.
I didn't even know him.
Chris Davis.
Mike Ross. Yeah.
They went to the same school.
I know he went to Florida State.
He went to Florida State. They were teammates. They was teammates.
Yeah.
Because we was roommates in college my freshman. And what was I saying?
We talking about the dude that transferred from Purdue with you.
So then when they changed the rule, is when they declared.
My first year, Carson won the Heisman. My second year, we pretty much put Matt on the map.
Yeah.
And so going into that third year, I'm like, hey, I kind of know how to go. Like, I need this Heisman push. I go to our AD, like Mike Garrett. I go to him straight up, say, Mr. Garrett, hey, I done did my thing for these first 2 years. Like, all I want is this Heisman push. Like,
nice.
I got 30 touchdowns in 2 years. Like,
you was smoking.
I got
smoking. He was the blue part of the fight.
I got a little. I got a nice little
resume.
I got a
little resume.
Yeah.
With the accent.
You know what I'm saying? So
what did Mike Garrett say?
He's like, Mr. Williams. He was like, we're not gonna push a wide receiver. He's like, next season we're gonna push Matt. And I was like, okay. I already had some insider trading information about my draft position.
Oh yeah.
We had some mutual friends who was in that Falcons organization. So
okay.
It's like, hey, I don't give a damn what they talking about. Like, you ain't gonna pass us.
Right.
So I was like, oh, noted.
Duly noted.
So that's
to their credit, they took Mike Jenkins.
Tampa's finest.
Tampa,
So,
Mike,
teammate.
yes sir. Late toe Falcons.
Yeah. To their credit, they stuck true to their word. Like, they was taking a wide receiver.
With the similar size.
They were taking the Tampa guy.
regardless.
They was like, you might not. They was like, you probably won't be on the board, but like if you're around, like, you ain't gonna get.
That's a trip though.
They was like right there, like
And Mike played 10. Mike played about 7.
Mike was like top 15.
Top 15 with the Falcons.
That's a trip though. That they kind of deciding who they gonna put up for the Heisman, even though he got 30 TDs. Come on.
It works like that though.
That was, and I ain't trying to throw Mike Garrett under the biggest bus.
No. It is what it is.
Make sure it's a nice size bus.
Yeah, not the biggest.
Not the biggest.
Not the biggest bus.
Boys bus or
You know
something.
what I'm saying? And my whole thing was, now that I'm older, I'm like, you kind of was just a crowd.
Yeah.
Like, you could have told a young fella, yeah, we gonna push you.
Right.
Just to.
Right. Just to put the battery in my back. I may go out and have 20 touchdowns this year.
For you to tell me that, for you to just straight up tell me like, no, I ain't taking.
And then I'm gonna push somebody else on my team.
He an SC guy too. He played what?
He's a Heisman Trophy winner at USC.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, he did.
Played the first Heisman Trophy.
Well, how that thing come
the
around
first?
full circle?
Played in the first Super Bowl, Kansas City Chiefs. So, just respect Mr. Garrett in that regard, but how he handled
that was some
my
crap
little
stuff.
encounter,
Wow.
not so much.
So I want to go back a little bit. Not only was the county on fire in football when Mike was playing at Henry B. Plant, located at 2415 South
HB.
Himes.
Which exit?
No, that's the exit.
You have to drive beneath the pines of Palmacia to get to us.
Say that again, Mike. Beneath what?
Beneath the pines.
That's how the school alma mater starts off as well. Beneath the pines of Palmacia.
Hey, look here, man. We ain't finna go.
Oh, my bad.
Okay. Not right now.
Before I get into this, Mike probably don't remember this. Mike's sophomore year, my little cousin Johnny was a senior. I think they played Brandon like 4 times this year. The Graham twins there. I don't know why they played them 4 times.
Well, you got 2 in the district.
Our district and the conference.
They played them 4 times.
And then with the regionals, when they won again, they had to come back and play them again.
Yeah.
So we at Plant. We at the old barn.
And Mike was a pretty good basketball player, by the way.
He had
he had over G.
$1,500.
Yeah, oh, my bad.
Yeah,
The extra $500 matters.
Yeah, no doubt about it. No question about it. Look, I say over a G. Almost 2 G's. Down 11. No, my bad. My apologies. I forget an athlete want all theirs. Don't say mine. Give me mine now.
All-time block, all-time rebound.
Yes, sir.
So I'm gonna say this, and I've never, you know how Jones, when you playing and a team might be down 20, somebody try to come, like they ain't trying to get it all on one possession. So they playing at plant early. Mike gets a breakaway. If he dunk this, the place gonna go wild.
Yeah,
go right off his knee out of bounds.
Deflation.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying, so Justin again, my brother. Man, if Mike dunked that, the gym go crazy. Like Justin lost by 20. Like that wasn't the reason they caused the problem. Yeah,
it's funny because that team, that team. That's one of the teams you wish you could play when you're a little older.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Like how them boys, they was all together.
They was together,
and they made a real push like their senior year, and I just saw.
They did.
You know, so
they went to the finals, didn't they?
Yeah.
They lost Oregon Green. Though.
Yeah,
lost the game.
Yeah.
They had 2 NBA players on their team.
Yeah.
So then it was Mike them at Plant. Then it was Torrance
came to UCF after that. Just
Who
to let
that?
you know, the Graham brothers.
Yeah.
And when did you see her?
Yeah. And then transferred out there. So
Mario
I just remember him at Oklahoma State.
They left
I know
UCF.
Came and Joey started with
So
my
they
senior
left.
year. He was
So
a
they
freshman.
left where he was at and went to a real program.
Yeah, because he
Wow.
he told the coach, if you bring them in, I'm a transfer. No, I'm just joking. Mario ain't say that. No, you know I be
Definitely ain't say that.
I be
But
hating
listen,
I be
first
hating on
bottom
young
solidified.
Right.
I promise you that.
So Torrance Kinsey and Kevin was over at Jefferson. And so like we were talking, and it's funny, the further you get away from stuff, like the less reality is involved in the story.
Always.
Like your senior year, I don't remember them beating y'all. Was those games close?
They beat us his whole career.
One time.
Yeah.
Who? Jefferson?
Jefferson.
Yeah.
One in
whatever.
One in a lot.
But if you ask, like them dudes, oh yeah, Jefferson and Plant used to go at it. I was like, they really did used to go at it. They used to destroy it.
You know, this what I will say. This is what I will say. TK was next level. TK was next level. And if people had the mindset that parents and kids have now, then like somebody would have to give. Like they would have to come to Plant, or we would have had to go to Jefferson.
Right. It just fought it out.
We would have been able to
win
come
more
out of
together.
Hillsborough County and actually go win a championship, like together, as opposed to
being apart,
like going against each other. Because I'm what they needed, and me and Tyler helped them, and Vincent
him and Kevin.
And
It's funny he say that.
They help us.
It's funny he say that because I think, and this way off of football, what we're talking about right now, I think that's one of the problems with the county schools. It's done got so diluted.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Schools.
And so many schools that's got so
27
diluted.
of them
Yeah.
in
so
one
it's hard.
county.
Yes.
That was an adjustment coming from California with coaching football. Just kids can leave. Like in LAUSD, you get one transfer, you get one penalty-free transfer. That's freshman.
Really?
That's freshman. Yeah. That's freshman and sophomore year.
Wow.
If you transfer any other time, it's going to be 3 games. If you transfer from a junior to a senior, it's going to be 5.
Ain't even worth it.
Wow.
Exactly.
But that's how you keep that tradition.
So once the kid's a sophomore, for the most part, you got it. You know he in your school.
Wow.
That's a good rule right there.
It's a great segue.
It is.
Yeah. It's a great segue to talk about now you being now a football coach, man.
Yeah,
How has that been? And
9 years.
and was that you said you wanted to be a coach and
How many years?
and an English teacher?
So Mike a coach or a coach?
He's a coach.
Am I a coach?
Yeah, you're a coach.
I gotta get a little older to get to that.
Nah, he ain't coach yet.
I ain't coach.
37.
I'm coach.
You a coach.
I'm coach.
Over 55, you're a coach.
Nah, you'll be a coach at 42. No. You gotta have that dip out there though. Smell like cigarettes.
So today's athlete, having that experience of doing it, how do you feel about the temperature of today's game with the kids and being a coach? Has it been something that's been pleasing, to you? The big adjustment.
This 9 years, I got 6 playoff appearances as head coach.
Okay.
So, I'm on my way. Coming back home is different, I would say.
Yeah.
Because it feels like I had to start all over. For some reason, I
feel like I'm always chasing respect.
That's crazy.
In Tampa, seems like
that's
everywhere
crazy.
else, people, hey, LA, I got a county award and everything.
Right.
I'm the highest drafted dude from around here in 70, 80 years.
You went 10?
Yeah, 10 to the Detroit Lions.
Yeah, so
it's funny you say that, Mike. I go a little bit, with this, man, and just knowing the psychology of a lot of people, man. We live in this what have you done for me lately, society. But then being right here from the 813, there should always be a respect line for somebody to do. I don't care if they do it for 1 year. If you get to the pinnacle of a sport, it should always be, respect. But a lot of time based off of whether it's a lack of consistency, a lack of sustainability or whatever, based off of your tenure, being able to do it, now as a coach, should always be that way. So, you keep doing what you're doing and the respect will definitely come. You know what I mean? It's just it's almost like what they say, what's in the water. What's in the water?
The hatred.
Yeah, and it balances. The hate balances out the level of life, man. I call them confused admirers. It's so necessary to have it and it motivates you.
I tell them this being a coach for a good little while. If you in it, man, you making a difference in these young dudes' life. The rest of that don't mean nothing.
Right.
But they ain't never gonna forget that. You know what I'm saying? They ain't never gonna forget that. And in time you'll get there. You still young. You got, old dude like me, I'm turning to ashes and I'm running out of time. But you young.
Man, the average life expectancy now, man, we get to 70 plus unless you're Mediterranean. You might 90. You know what? On a Honda.
Look
I'm going to a Honda.
Look
I'll
at
say
man.
I think everything's so instant, so it's different.
Yes. Well said. Well said.
I would say from parents, from the house, a lot of parents think the talent level of your kid is a reflection of what kind of parent they are.
Woo!
Boy,
stop preaching.
That's another show right there.
We touched on that already.
Yeah, we did.
No, not like that. We did.
No, but what he just
It
said.
was in that neighborhood.
It just like
in that neighborhood.
The talent level of their kid, think that's a reflection on them.
So if your little boy a Timmy, that's what they.
Yeah, I got you.
Your little boy Timmy, it's socially it's looked at as like you're not pouring into your kid enough, or it says something about
they are who they are,
the
bro.
direction
They are who they are.
Right.
And as a coach, I can tell you right now, what a kid look like at 8U is way different.
Yeah.
When you get to high school, because kids catch up to your speed, they catch up to your size, they might just outwork you.
Right.
And I would never want my son to be.
Well, you say, man, you can be special, but each level take a different specialness. You know what I'm saying? You might be special in PAL.
In TBYFL.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then you go to high school, then it's funny. It changed.
And the influences change.
Yeah.
That's big
a
too.
lot of some young fellas, they be great kids coming up, and then they get to high school and all of a sudden it's about showing how tough they are.
They be on hot boy time.
Yeah.
Be on hot boy time.
They be on the hot boy time.
Got the little finger wet, and now they
Yeah.
now they out of control.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this.
Skipping lunch.
Do they know?
I'm never skipping lunch.
Yeah, kids.
Right, but that's a big one. If he's skipping lunch, boy,
Yeah.
he out here, boy. That's like that.
And Plant had them groceries too. Plant had that
Look here. So do they know? Like, have you ever? They question what you doing with it, and then have you ever hit them with? I was number 10.
No.
No.
Coach. I think the average person would be surprised how little I mention, like what
I wouldn't be surprised sitting right here, see how you carry yourself. I get that.
Yeah.
Because I really trust like what I'm doing as a coach. Like I
There
know
you
who
go.
I am.
There
I
you
know
go.
what I want out of my programs.
Yes, sir.
Like I know
Yes, sir.
And I think I do a good job of making everybody know what's the expectation.
Right.
My assistant coaches, they know what the expectation.
There you
My
go.
Players, they know that. So when I'm on you, like we gonna get some good dialogue.
Yeah.
It's good.
like
It's
that.
good to
I
hear
like
that
that.
because me
Yeah.
personally as a coach, I mean it's something I've never done either. You know what I mean? Quote what you did. This, that, and other. I don't have to prove myself based on my skill set.
No.
What I done when you were doing it, but based off of the level of expertise and the studying that I put into this, allows me for you to respect who I am.
And I would say, Coach, my environment doesn't really foster those kind of conversations.
Good.
Right.
That's real good.
Like if a young fella's out of his lane a little bit, if I have to arrive to that point.
Yeah.
Like, well, don't you know I did? Like, that's the reinforcement.
He don't went too far.
He already bear crawling before we. Before we get to that, he already to the gate. Like,
Go bear crawl 100 yards.
So we got 3 coaches up here. I'm gonna ask y'all something. Are these kids quote unquote softer now?
No, the parents are softer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you got to talk. Everybody want to blame the kids, but they don't want to talk about the parents that's making the kids.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Now,
I love it.
Now you can't. Now you who is this said this to my baby?
I love it.
Yeah,
right.
You know.
Mike, I done dabbed you up a couple times tonight. I need a little bit of that.
That's
That's real.
You know, on top of that, when I try, the mental health aspect is important. So I always talk to my young fellas. I'm always telling them, like, man, it's not a right nor wrong, because I come from the same situation, female dominant household. Like, so when you're coming up, you don't even realize when you have a conflict or you have an anger issue, you are probably reacting like a 15-year-old female. But
what you see in the house.
But in a man's body.
Yeah. Right.
So, you seen mama go off on somebody, you seen sister, you seen grandma or whatever, so you get a lot of like,
you just talking about that lip pop.
I can't stand
it.
Like,
you are smacking you smacking your teeth.
You 6'2", 220. You realize you out here talking about.
Yeah. So they'll understand their mannerisms and how they handle, how they explode. They 0 to 100. Like, they'll understand that. Like, sometimes you got to get outside of what you think.
Even mean just to piggyback what he was saying and to answer, yes, it's softer because of that transfiguration of parents. But I just remember being an athlete and in a female dominant household, and what he just touched on, I had the worst attitude ever. People don't believe that now, but I really did.
And that's
it
what
was
I tell
really
my
reaction.
kids. Like, I still got stuff from Clint. Like, I show my kids my detention slips.
Yeah.
Like, I show them my ISS.
It
slips.
was terrible.
Well, they know where you came from, though. You know what you battled through.
Yeah, so, it was terrible in the midst of that. So just answering, that piece of it, man. It's those affiliation of parents down to the kids, man. It makes it tough.
Because I make it my business to make sure I'm coach. Like,
there you go.
I ain't finna go in your house and tell you how to
handle your house,
how to handle your son, and how you need to raise your boy and all that.
Right.
Because I damn sure want your ass come across that gate, tell me how to blow this whistle and what we gonna do out here.
Yeah.
So I want to make sure that line is
right.
I want to make sure we understand
it's
that.
clear.
Hey, if you say so and so ain't come to practice, all right, we'll see when we see you. Like,
that's it.
That's real.
You ain't take care of your business. Mama say you can't play. Mama say you can't play.
That's it.
So I don't do that part.
That's
good.
I
don't want parents to feel like, hey, you try to tell me how to raise me. Nah,
It is what it is. He ain't come to practice.
This hot boy summer. Hey.
Let it be a hot boy summer.
And embrace that.
Be swift.
Embrace the hot boy summer.
Come on.
You know what I mean? Don't be looking for coach saying, "What's up? Where you at? What you
August, I ain't got no reps. I ain't got no reps for you.
Yeah, that's real.
I ain't got no reps.
That's the bottom line.
I ain't even mad at you.
That's the bottom line.
Yeah, you just you know what I'm saying? Well, going back to high school, Mike they did make it to the state tournament in basketball also. Mm-hmm. Who did y'all lose to?
The first year we went, we lost to Bellevue. And they ended up losing to St. Thomas Aquinas.
Bellevue up on the road.
Next year we lost to
Ron O'Callaghan up in there.
We lost to Lakewood.
I think
they won it.
I was at that game, the double overtime game with Mark. Yeah.
Marcus Morrison and Crumbly and the boys.
Yep, at playing. I was at that game.
Ernest Crumbly was on that. Ernest Crumbly.
One of them. He's a brother. I think the younger brother.
Yeah.
He would have been.
Okay, the older brother. Yeah, that's right.
Marcus Morris went to South Carolina with Torrance, Kansas, but he left. He transferred out.
It's funny because Marcus, that was his first time ever beating me.
Really?
He played St. Peter lead the whole bit, so we played at AAU for about 2 years.
You just brought something up.
They never got us. He got us.
You remember after that year when Drake was coaching y'all?
Yeah.
And it was like you, Rashard Anderson, Tyler, some tall kid.
Who was coaching him?
Drake. Drake coached him.
Really?
Yeah. It was some. I think his name.
McKiskell.
Yeah, y'all. They were loaded.
Big Yusuf with the Orlando Edgewater.
Yeah,
with the Edgewater. Yeah.
Yusuf Evans.
So it was him, Rashard Anderson, Torrance Kansas. Yeah. They loaded Tyler.
Yeah.
They played at a random school in St. Pete, like on a Sunday. So Marie was pregnant with Denali. And Drake was like, we play at wherever they said. We go. It's a lot of the Lakewood team.
Yeah.
Jones, literally, they were up by like 60. Remember the game turned into like a dunk contest?
Yeah, it was just.
Yeah, it was nasty.
Like, it was ridiculous. Like, this was really like basically the Lakewood team against some of the Tampa guys that were loaded. It was nip and tuck for like that first half. Then, I don't know if Rashard went crazy.
That senior year, that's when we knew we had them. like we knew we was gonna be good in the state. Like
Right.
we went over to Kathleen and beat Shot and them at Kathleen.
Yeah.
That's a tough one, boy, to go down there and do that.
When we got them, because we lost to BB, we lost to TJ and them and USF. We lost to BB
Right.
1 year, TJ the next year.
Yeah.
So we had never got them.
Right.
Yeah, I remember that.
Well, let's transition to our favorite segment, fellas. I'll never forget.
Uh-oh.
This is a segment, Mike, where we touch on just a quick story, man. You know, and something in your life that you want to touch on that you'll never forget. We always started off with the guest, so give us something. It don't have to be sports related. It could be sports related. It could be something you'll never forget.
I gotta never forget.
Yeah.
Say it like
Yeah.
that.
I'll never
Like
forget.
that, lead right on in there.
I'll never forget the coaches and the people that helped us out at Ray Park.
Okay.
Miss Margie, Miss Bayham, Coach Sid, Coach Shad, so Miss Peoples, the OG Miss Peoples.
Yeah,
so,
Miss Regina people.
Regina people.
So
There you go.
I say, you know, the people at Ray Park, I never forget them.
Okay.
That's beautiful.
Well, I'm gonna keep in line with the guests we got here. Obviously, like Coach Jones said, them SC games come on late at night.
Yeah, you know, that's a late night, yeah.
They out west.
That's a late night game.
They prime time.
They might
Right now, the USC game.
I'm yawning. I got a little something on. You know, hey, this dude, I want to see him, right? So he kept me up. That's the only reason I'm watching. I don't care about USC.
I want to say they playing Oregon State. Might come across the back of the end zone. I don't know if he tripped or the ball was just thrown like a little too far. He reached out. The one hand cancer run.
Yes.
He almost tore the house up. You see my home, boy?
What?
That's what we do from Tampa.
I'll tell you,
Was that Oregon State?
yeah, that was Oregon State.
Yeah.
One day, I never forget it either. Eve Torres, God bless. She ended up being WWE champ.
Okay.
But I was like, man, we finna do something nice. I'm finna take her to this nice dinner. Cool. So
Right.
we sliding, and I just know I'm about to get robbed. Black dude run up on me. I'm talking about got the drop on me. I'm like,
He eased up on Mike like that. He eased up on him like back is clean.
hey, we come out and steak and rolls. He just, he grabbed it. She grabbed his shirt. He, bam, Mike Williams, I love you.
Oh, he got a tattoo of
He
it?
got the tattoo of the catch.
No.
With the dude trying to tackle me.
No.
And she just grabbed my arm and started backing up like let's go.
He might be a psycho fan.
Oh, he no psycho. He is a psycho.
So I had to share that with you. Like I actually met a dude who got that catch.
That catch.
tattooed.
I remember watching the catch. Like it was thrown. It was a bullet.
Yeah.
And Mike was just like, boom, it just stopped. And I don't know if he was surprised that he caught it or
That was
what.
that one. Everybody got. I feel like every athlete has that one.
That was
every
it.
Athlete, if you got an artist show up and you say, "What's your canvas?" Every athlete,
Right.
That catch.
Like Mario, you probably got. It's just
yeah.
one where you probably just.
Yeah.
Took off.
Got it yourself. And, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, no doubt. That canvas.
Hey, I actually got another one too. Speaking of West Tampa legends, we got Mario up here. God bless the dead, Riche Caldwell.
Yeah.
Shay was in San Diego at the time. Rookie year, he wasn't playing a lot. So whenever Mike do something, my phone rang. Bros, you see Mike out here? He killing boy. Like, so much like Mike, he in the locker room, repping for the crib for Florida from Tampa. Shay said this time he got about 10 catches on the year. Mike out there going crazy. Shay said he walk in the locker room and tell him, you see how me and my homeboy from Tampa come out here and take over? It's sweet out here on this West Coast. Y'all ain't nothing. Shay said, bros, I got 10 catches at the time.
You know.
And about 14 games. He said, Mike holding it down for both of us out here.
You know, man. God bless. God bless, man. Shay. From West Tampa, Shay was like, I'm 37, so he's like the first one that like really did it. For us.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
Shay.
Like Shay, like Riche is the first one. Like if you're from West Tampa, you watched him.
Yep.
For the Spartans.
Yep.
And then like you thought it was just because he was at the Spartans, and then he go to Jefferson. And he
From day one.
He light their ass up too. From
Day one.
Day one.
Then he Riche Caldwell going to Florida. You sitting there like, damn, don't nobody from West Tampa
Go to
Florida.
Florida. Like, likewise, not likewise down. Like,
right.
Florida is something. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, Riche was he was the one for, you know, my age group that, like, you know, there was a few dudes that, like, did it.
Yeah.
But, you know, Mike Jink, you know, we didn't grow up. Like,
Yeah. He right. And Mike moved in from military though with his.
He military guy.
Yeah, he came in from Texas.
You know, you had some dudes that was real. You had some dudes that was like really something.
Yeah.
Right.
I didn't see their journey. Like,
right.
So Shay.
I didn't see them like go out. Like I saw, you know, so, oh, he a quarterback. Oh, he this. Nah, he like that.
Nice. Shay would call me, and what my man name used to be the runner, Tony.
Yep.
So Shay was like,
Tony Flynn.
Yeah, Tony Flynn. So we hanging out. He's like, yeah, seen Mike. Yeah, you gotta relax.
Tighten up.
Seen Mike at a basketball game. He was some 6'3" blonde chick. Yeah. I'm like, well, Mike hanging out, boy. I'm West Coast.
Why not? He in Cali.
Yeah. Man, beach. Yeah. One thing I will say, if back then, if you saw them, they didn't speak a lot of English. So
really?
She was probably from like Croatia.
Yeah, Tony. That's all Tony talked about.
He played volleyball or something.
Yeah. Oh yes. Yeah.
Probably threw a javelin.
Throw 100 yards.
Stick it in the wall. You know what I'm saying?
That's my man. That's all my
Hey, Coach Jones, go ahead, man.
Hey, look here, man. I never forget. I ain't got no pro stories. I ain't got all that, boy. But I'm gonna take you on back to the quarter horse.
To the quarter horse.
Mike, you got to hit a quarter horse story.
Boy. Cause I done told you how I ran the dude down.
Yeah, you made it respectable.
Yeah. You made it respectable.
So we go to Clearwater one night. Boy, it's a big meet. Everybody that bought a quarter horse for to make his debut. Man, I messed around. I did, because, you know, I did a lot of events. So I did the long, I did the triple. I did the 4x1. I did a little 200. I probably did too many damn events. But anyway, so we get round to the 4, and I'm like, it's the quarter horse turn, but, man, the quarter horse a little tired. I ain't feeling so good. Uh-oh. Yeah, it ain't good, man. I ain't feeling so good. So they call first call 400. So, you know, the quarter horse, I'm going to go on talking third person. So the quarter horse say, yeah, man, it ain't another night. It ain't another night, man. You know what I mean? So I look over at the stands. I know it's a concession stand back there. So I said, well, I'm going to go back in and grab me a little hot dog for my race.
Yes, sir.
That's a mistake.
Threw that thing all the way up.
Quarter horse get back there behind the stand bar, order that hot dog. And I don't know what it was, but I got ready to bite it too, and I heard, "Dow."
Coach, you sure you went on that gym make you see it? You sure you went on that take a
Huh? Hey, I'm back there. I bit into my hot dog, and I heard, "Dow." I said, damn, I know that ain't my damn race.
Down the rough.
I knew that ain't my damn race. So I said, I'm just keep on chewing because it ain't mine. Mine up in a
Coach,
minute.
catch him busting on it.
He dressed it up nice too.
Hey, by that time, my coach, God bless him, God bless him, there, Nick DiMaggio, legendary coach of Tampa Legend. He come around. Hey, Tom, hey, man, what happened? You missed a damn race, man. I tell you, I said, huh?
I missed the race by them groceries.
So I'll never forget that, man. I'll never forget biting into the hot dog and hearing that damn gun go off. And I missed
Hey, well, Coach.
Classic.
I'm a piggyback you, Coach.
I know what I was going.
Hey, I didn't either.
I know.
But now I got to change my story. I was going to touch your Riche. I'm changing mine again.
You get 2, I got 3.
No, I ain't going to get 2. I'm going to just go 1 because the 1 going to be long enough.
Oh, okay.
1 going to be long enough. I'll never forget. You know, back in the 90s, early 90s in the Hillsborough County, if you varsity, we had a lot of varsity Saturday basketball games.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you'll play on Saturdays. So where I come from, ain't nobody in the house with a car. Ain't no activity bus that's going to take you to the game. So go right in the projects, jump on bus 7, go to Tampa Bay Mall, take bus 32, take you right to Lato High School. Well, guess what, Coach? I jump on 7.
Oh.
Got my little transfer money in my pocket.
Keep that. What was it, 35 cents?
35 cents in my pocket for the little transfer to get on to go to Lato, right? Then I had like my grandma gave me $5 and my probably get me a little snack after the game. You know what I mean? So I ain't finna do nothing. Get probably a Fago soda, some Cheetos or something. Because I want to know what I'm on now.
Well, no, you wouldn't get no ramen noodles.
No. I would have liked to have them.
They say ramen noodle time.
Yeah. Not right now.
They say ramen noodle time.
Yeah, no. Or I gotta have a Snicker bar before the game. So check it. Get to the mall. Get to the overbearings. You sit there.
Oh no.
So I'm waiting.
Oh no.
Waiting.
Oh no.
I'm like, dang. You know, boy coming. What's happening? I go check the schedule.
What's happening? What's happening?
I check the schedule, coach. But 32 don't run late on Saturdays. Oh boy.
Ain't no school.
Now, for those that don't know,
Oh my.
Tampa Bay
Tampa
Mall.
Bay.
for those that don't know what Tampa Bay Mall is, which is the old Bucks place.
No, the new Bucks place.
New Bucks place, I'm sorry.
What you cut through Al? You cut through Al?
No.
You gotta cut through that food court parking lot.
So
You gotta cut through a hell of a lot.
So
You
Now, keep in mind.
You by St. Lawrence.
Boy, just to get the damn Mabry.
just to get the damn Mabry.
You have Mirage.
Right. So check it. And keep in mind now, Florida weather Saturday, the game at 1:00.
What you got on, Reed?
I got on a royal blue and yellow rayon, no shirt underneath, button down, with some jean shorts. And get what?
That's gonna stick.
And I got on some Elises.
And he musky because it's a rayon.
What's in? Look, because we had to we had to dress up a little bit. That coach want you dress for a game. You sit in the crowd.
Oh, that was dressing up?
Yeah, dressing. All I had to wear. That was dressing up for me.
Yeah.
That's all I had. Rayons.
Right.
You know what I mean? Rayons in back then.
Yes, sir.
From royal blue and yellow, rayon. Boy, I cut through mall, bend a little left, get straight on Del Mabry. Boom.
That's a dangerous walk, boy.
Listen,
Dale Mabry.
man, I'm sick though. I'm zoned out. I'm walking down Del Mabry. I'm like, man, it's hot. I'm like, dang, I ain't know this was this far. I'm still walking, sweating.
Ain't even hit the hump yet.
Listen, I done took my shirt all out now.
He ain't made the laser tag yet.
Listen, I ain't even close. I ain't even close to the bowling alley. I ain't close to nothing. I ain't made nothing.
I don't know if I had that one in.
Hey boy, right about then.
Listen,
Right about then.
walk.
Right about then, boy, you
Listen,
ain't
stop.
nothing.
Listen,
You ain't nothing.
Listen,
right
I
there.
stopped to the convenience store, grab me a Gatorade, orange Gatorade.
That fire washed.
Listen,
That fire
Yeah, boy, you down about 387 now. Out that fire, you gonna lose the change.
listen. I got me an orange Gatorade and a Snicker bar. Kept going, chugging. I get to the game. I get to Lato, get to the game. My team running out to warm up.
Oh.
My coach look at me, snarling. So I go in there, put my clothes on, get out and start warming up. So coach say, what happened? I said, coach, I had to walk to the game. He said, stop lying. You're lying. You're not playing in the first quarter. I'm like, okay, I had to walk to the game, right?
Yeah.
Much needed rest.
Right, look. Now I say, I'm already warm, so whenever you want to play me, I'm ready to rock and roll.
I'm over here, baby.
Nice and leather.
Yeah, right.
baby.
Yeah. Hey, coach, what's that? I'm ready to roll. You know what I'm saying? But I never forget, I had 16 points in 3 quarters.
There you go.
You know
That's
what I
my
mean?
boy right
from,
there.
From Tampa Bay Mall.
Okay.
But boy, listen.
Wow.
Attention, I say to my players, myself, anybody that I work with or work around right now, I say attention to details, but it literally comes from hard lessons I had to learn.
Yes, sir.
I promise.
32.
Listen,
Yes, sir.
listen, that boy 32 wasn't coming.
Hey,
now.
I thought the same thing, man. Don't be eating no hot dog when the gun going off.
Another epic show going down, man. Tampa Legend in the house. Mike Williams.
Appreciate you coming out, big homie.
Coming back,
With
big
my
brother.
custodians here, decorated Coach Jones. Don't forget to like the video, leave a comment, leave a topic, whatever you want to hear, what you want to hear next. Keep it 100, subscribe to the channel when you can, hit the button. And guess what? 99 ain't good enough, what we?
Keep it 100.
We out.
100!
Boom.